Blackstone Audio presents The Business of Dying, The Complete Western Stories by Richard S. Wheeler. This book is read by Traber Burns and Pam Ward. Forward. Long ago, I spent several years in rural Arizona near the Mexican border. I was between newspaper jobs and hoped to make a living with freelance writing. I soon discovered that the remote border area was populated by various eccentric and gaudy people, who for various reasons chose to live as far as possible from civilization. Some were notable. One had been Jack Dempsey's trainer. His wife had been a Ziegfeld Follies chorus girl. Another was a successful screenwriter who kindly taught me how to write fiction. I owe my success to him. But most were simply people like me, looking for adventure in an obscure corner of the States. They all had stories. One, a rancher, had roped a mountain lion and lived to tell about it. Johnny Carson even invited him to talk about it. I heard plenty of stories during my sojourn there, many of them told by the people who lived on a guest ranch that bordered Mexico. One of the stories included here involved a crazy attempt to graft a small piece of Mexican territory to the United States. I witnessed that one. Eventually I returned to civilization, but the stories stayed with me. And an odd thing was happening. They kept getting funnier. Every time I told one of those stories, the event seemed more comic. By the time I got to writing them down a few years ago, the stories had turned into comedy. I fictionalized the actual characters and events, and in the process added to the comedy. But even so, these stories were inherently funny, and that is how they appear here. In addition to the contemporary stories, I wrote historical ones. These were based on the usual research, largely gotten from books, but some of those became comic too. The result is this anthology, which is mostly humor, some of it bizarre. My favorite by far of the historical short stories is The Square Reporter. It is about a real person, William Wright, a reporter for the Territorial Enterprise in Virginia City, Nevada. He was a friend of Samuel Clemens, who also wrote for the paper. They were fierce rivals when it came to publishing the wildest and most outlandish hoaxes they could dream up. Wright, whose pen name was Dan DeQuille, was a master at the game, and came up with what was probably...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?